Was that a Pinocchio?
1-1, Scott to right. Deep and gone!
Sanchez, pitch went deep to left field, going back. Gurriel looking up. See ya! A 2-run home run for Sanchez. And the Yankees lead 2-1.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Between the Lines. This show is dedicated to all things baseball. I'm your host, Tanner Kern. I'm joined by Eric Neff. He's a familiar face. You might know him from our weekly 3 Up, 3 Down segment. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Little sore throat today. I'd like the viewers out there bear with me, but I will get some of this stuff out. But first, let's go back and rock out to that intro again, man. I was getting down. I love that. That's great work. I love that.
Yeah, very good. Very good walk-up music. If any MLB player wants to use it, contact Between the Lines. We will give it to you for free. Guarantee it. You just got to give us a shout-out on Twitter.
That's right. That's right. He's correct.
So today we're going to be talking about prospects and some of the top prospects in the game. We got a good mix of young guys to older guys. I think the ages range from 18 to 23 years old. But first of all, Eric, I want to start with your opinions on what has happened so far in 6 weeks of baseball. What's one thing that has caught your eye so far? And I know it's going to be hard because we can ramble on about this all day, but one thing in the season so far that has caught your eye after 6 weeks of play.
I would have to say the most surprising thing is, to me, is the San Francisco Giants just absolutely playing great baseball on both sides of the field, pitching, they're hitting the ball. Can't believe what they're, not a huge talked about team, not a ton of superstars there in San Fran. They've got Buster. They've got Joey Bart in the pipeline still because Buster decided he was going to, throw it back 10 years on us this year. And I mean, just not a huge talked about team, but they are the epitome of a team in baseball. They play as a team. They are winning a lot as a team. And I'm very surprised at their record thus far. I believe they've got 22 or 23 wins. Pretty surprising start out of them. And then also my Cardinals, I'm excited that they are in first in the Central. I kind of thought we'd do a little more battle, a little more back and forth with Milwaukee early. Typically, St. Louis is a cold starting team. Usually you'll see them in second, third place a lot in the standings early in seasons for some reason. That's the way it's been the last few years, which no big deal. As long as they're at the top at the end, it's great. But so far, their pitching staff has really stepped up an insane amount. And it's not a very good pitching staff per se. They've got some hot guys, like Flaherty, Kim only in his second season in the MLB. So hopefully they keep it going. And then kind of surprised, and you and I have talked about this also on multiple occasions, that the Yankees aren't just murdering everyone. I mean, every time I look at that roster, I'm like, man, this team should just be smoking everybody. And they're not yet. And I still think, I know people hate when you say it's early. All the games count, of course. But you see how things play out. Every year there's somebody back 10 games in April or May or June, and at the end, they're going to be right there. Oh, excuse me. There's no way with that Yankees roster that we're not going to see a resurgence of the Yankees over the next couple of months. They're going to get hot. They're going to bring it. Nobody's going to be able to hit off Garrett Cole because he's Garrett Cole. I think Stanton and Judge, if they could just stay 100% healthy and get in a rhythm together, I mean, it's going to be hard to outscore that team, similar to the Dodgers. There's so much power in the lineup that once they get rolling, I think they'll get hot. But those are my 3 biggest surprises so far in this season, things I've been keeping an eye on.
Yeah, 100% with the Yankees. And the best part about New York is if they need a player, Brian Cashman will go out and get Trevor Story at the deadline, bring him to New York, and make them the winners of the American League East if they are a Trevor Story away. But I want to talk about San Francisco real quick before we get into the prospects. Brandon Crawford, Brandon Belt, Buster Posey, 3 guys that were there for that championship, all those championship runs, bringing that mentality to San Francisco, to the young guys, new coaching staff in there, but that winning mentality, taking advantage of other teams' mistakes and not making many mistakes themselves, keeping games close, bringing them to the 9th inning and winning. I think that's why they've been successful so far. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold up that could be another spot where they could get a free agent at the deadline to help them. But San Francisco has been very, very surprising so far.
It really has been. And if they are in this position, a month down the road, and they do go get a piece, I mean, man, what's to stop them from making a deep playoff run? As you just said, I always kind of picture, I think Brandon Crawford, for one thing, is one of the most underrated baseball players of the last decade. Just a fantastic, fantastic defensive player and always hits for average. Belt provides a little bit of power. I mean, those two, I've always seen them as like the Dustin Pedroia, David Wright type players for the Giants, the guys that maybe don't get a ton of praise. I mean, Pedroia and Wright at different times in their career did get a ton of praise, but that's how I feel about those two in San Francisco. And yeah, like you said, if they do decide to go get a piece, this could be a scary team. It really could be. It's so surprising. I don't even know what to say about him. Like Buster Posey, I think, has been the huge surprise for me. I personally, I didn't think he was done. I just wasn't sure we'd ever see the Buster Posey at the plate of old, and he has surely shown us that, he's not done yet.
Yeah, 100%. Now, if you guys want to hear me and Eric talk about what's going on in the big leagues, tune in on Monday nights at 7 p.m. because we could be talking about this all day, but we don't want to take away from our prospect special. So we're going to start with Jordan Walker, the number 6 prospect in the Cardinals organization. Young guy, 18 years old. He's 6'5", 220 pounds, plays third base. Eric, tell me a little more about Jordan Walker.
For one thing, he is a specimen of an athlete. When you look at him, he's a big, imposing guy, similar to another guy we're going to talk about here shortly, actually, with Jason Dominguez. He's just a big, strong guy. He's very athletic. He's always going to hit for power. That is the tool that I don't believe any prospect has looked at him and thought, this guy's power is not going to translate. His power is going to translate. As for playing third in this organization, that's kind of tough right now. They've got Nolan Gorman also in front of them, another guy we could have easily talked about today. And, we've got Arenado there, hopefully, for the next several years. However, there are a lot of scouts that they kind of put Walker as possibly a right fielder, first baseman type also. So he kind of profiles well for right field and first. And that would be great with Goldie aging there in the Cardinals organization and them always seemingly rotating this cast of outfielders around, other than Dylan Carlson being the key prospect there. It seems that the cast of outfielders in St. Louis the last couple of years have all been semi-special prospects and guys that just haven't quite gotten there. And I believe if Jordan Walker does end up in right field, he will be the outfield prospect, aside from Dylan Carlson, possibly this season, that really sticks out there in the outfield. That being said, scouts power tool, they've got him at a 60. Overall, only a 50 right now. That's only going to go up. The kid's only 18 years old. He passed on Duke to come to St. Louis. Duke baseball, I don't know if you know this, pretty good program there at Duke. So he took the $2.9 million. He decides to come to St. Louis. Kid's 6'5". Now so far, it's hard to even say so far because as we all know what happened in 2020, and the kid's he's just now being seen in the minor leagues. So there's questions on how well he's going to be able to hit the breaking ball. Who with power don't we question on their ability to hit the breaking ball whenever they first bust into the minors and the majors? So I'm not really worried about that. The kid's young. So far on the season, and this is his first season at 1A ball, he's 8 for 21. He's got 9 walks and only 6 strikeouts. 9 walks already, and he's got less than 30 plate appearances. That's pretty insane. I love seeing that, especially out of such a young guy, slashing 500, 1250 right now. He's already got a couple homers. He's already got a handful of RBIs. So this is a guy you're going to start hearing more and more about him over the next couple of years. I'm, of course, meant to look up where he's ranked overall in the majors right now and check a few sites and kind of average it out and forgot right now he is currently the Cardinals' number 6 prospect. Cardinals pretty deep in the prospect game right now, but even at number 6, he is currently my favorite Cardinals prospect to keep an eye on. The other guys, everybody kind of knows. You've got Liberatore, you've got Gorman, but this is a guy you're going to want to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now, here's some clips from Jordan Walker in a Perfect Game Showcase from last year. Now, the thing to notice with Jordan Walker is he is a young guy, as Eric said before, has not gotten much big league or minor league experience. He's only in his first season in A-ball, so we don't have many clips from him. But just his ability to go down, get the baseball on the outside corner. He's quick with his hands, as you can see there. He's a great runner, and he can play third base well. And the thing about what Eric was saying, he might go to right field. Obviously, with the Cardinals, they're deep at third base right now. This is a guy that can play all over the field, so I'm excited to see him at the big league level. This is just a routine pop fly, but tracks the ball well. Very talented prospect, and I am excited to see him play in the big league soon. Now, he does have 2 home runs, and you ever go to a minor league game, the balls don't fly out of minor league parks like they do in the MLB.
No.
So to say he's only gotten 20-something at-bats with 2 home runs already, that is pretty impressive out of the youngster. So next prospect we're going to talk about, he might be a little more well-known than Jordan Walker, and he will be in Baltimore in Camden Yards very soon. Adley Rutschman, the number 2 prospect in baseball. He went to college. He's 23 years old, so he's a little older than these guys, but he is very talented. He was an Oklahoma State catcher, led them to, I believe a World Series. Am I correct about that? Yeah, definitely led them to the World Series. Not great with the average right now, only batting .214, but his on base is .353. He also has a couple bombs like Walker. So, Eric, tell me a little more about Adley Rutschman.
As you just said, he was easily the best player in college baseball in 2019. Really nobody compared to him in the college game that season. He just crushed baseballs all season. And we hear about the hit tool all the time. His hit tool is great. His hit tool is graded at 60, power at 65. What kind of gets less play is his behind the plate ability. This guy's another Buster Posey. He's another Yadier Molina. This guy isn't going to let the ball get behind him. Field 65, arm at 60. I think his arm grade's better than 60. I think that arm grade moves up to 70 if we even see his prospect grades move up anymore before we see him at Camden, which my hope is that we don't. My hope is that we see him at Camden soon. I mean, if you're the Orioles, what else are you playing for other than to get this somebody like this at bats? They've also, of course, got Heston Kjerstad coming up in their system, who's going to quickly take that number 1 prospect rank in their system off of Adley as soon as he's called up. So that's another system that's looking pretty good. The Orioles are going to be good in the future. Not that they're playing terrible this year, just that, the AL East is stacked, and there's just no way that Means and these guys can keep them in that hunt, I don't think. But switch hitter, huge from the catching position, something you don't see very often. Grandal, of course, switch hitter, another guy I love to watch play the game, and also could easily transition to first. I don't know why anybody would ever do that with him, because he's so amazing behind the plate and he's going to mow down stolen bases, but he could easily transition to first because he's in great physical shape. Now, that's something I really like about him, and he's gonna be a little bit faster than most major league catchers, which may not mean a ton to the average baseball fan, but to all of us MLB The Show guys, it matters, man. It matters. I can't be trotting Yachty out there with 0 speed. I need a guy that's got 50 speed, or he can't be on my Diamond Dynasty roster. So this is a guy that he's already getting rostered in MLB The Show. His prospect card's amazing in that game, and 23 years old. So he's not a guy you're going to have to wait around. He's ready to go play right now. He's done the minor league thing for a very, very short period of time because he played in college, but he's ready to go. This guy's a major league ready prospect, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when I look at Adley Rutschman, I see the next Matt Wieters in Baltimore, and I'm not saying he is like Matt Wieters in the sense of ability. Matt Wieters was a very talented catcher, but Adley's a little better. I think Adley's going to turn out to be a better player in the big leagues. But the thing about Matt Wieters was he was there. He was that stable guy behind the plate every single day, and that's what you're going to get out of Adley Rutschman in the future in Baltimore. Now, here's a clip of Adley. This was actually his first home run in the minors, going deep, opposite field. Got to love it, showing the power off the bat. I mean, he can swing it. He's got a big stick, and look at that speed around the base. He's flying from to second base on a home run trot.
Yeah, Yadi can't run that fast. Yadi can't even keep up with his home run trot, man.
He is that kind of player. He's an everyday guy. He's going to hustle everything out. Great to see. I can't wait to see him in the show. Out of all the prospects we're talking about today, we're going to talk about Wander Franco in a minute here. But I am most excited to see Adley Rutschman in the show because I always did like Matt Wieters. I was a Matt Wieters guy. So to have that kind of guy behind the plate coming up in Adley Rutschman, it's very exciting.
Yes, and I don't know, everyone who followed Matt Wieters' career whenever he was first starting out, when he was still a prospect, I don't know if anybody remembers how much Matt Wieters was a massive prospect. Wasn't it for the Phillies at first? Why do I want to say Phillies are who drafted Wieters? Was it Baltimore?
I think
Washington,
he was. I'm pretty sure he was. No, he was always with Baltimore, and then he went to Washington. I could be wrong about that.
I don't know why.
Fact check me, go ahead, but I think he was always a Baltimore guy.
You're probably right, but I do remember all the talk of how good Matt Wieters could be. So I totally understand that comparison. Oh, we got a nice question here. Is Rutschman better at the plate or behind it? That's tough. I think he turns out to be, as with all catchers, more known for his defense. I think he's going to mow down a lot of stolen bases. He's going to keep teams from even attempting to steal, as Buster, as Salvi Perez, as Yadi do. However, as most people know, with catchers, if you can just hit just a hair above average, get a little bit of power, that's an MVP status catcher. You know, if you're that good behind the plate and you can carry yourself above average at the plate, you're going to be an MVP status catcher. And with this guy, he's not going to sell out for power. As you saw the opposite field home run, he's got power to both fields, and he's not going to sell out for power though. This guy's going to get a lot of base hits. You're going to see a lot of doubles out of Adley Rutschman. And, you know, as you guys know, it's not common for catchers to be out there running doubles all the time. But this guy's going to have a lot of extra base hits that stay in the yard as well, which is probably what I'm most excited about seeing him, because he sprays the ball to all fields. He's not going to sell out to pull. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Him and Cedric Mullins in Baltimore is going to be a phenomenal combo. So I want to transition. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's him and Cedric Mullins, man. Baltimore, you guys should be excited. You're not going to be the dumpster of the American League East for long. I think you guys can maybe compete. Problem is, when we're talking money with the Yankees and the Red Sox, you're not going to be able to compete there. So hopefully Adley turns out well. Maybe you sign him to a deal early so you can avoid arbitration, avoid free agency, and lock him up in Baltimore for a very long time. So
absolutely.
Wander Franco, the number one prospect in Major League Baseball. I'm a little angry about Wander Franco, and I'm going to tell you guys why. He has played 181 minor league games, and he is not in the show yet. This is number one prospect in baseball. This guy's batting in the high twos. He's got a mid-3 on-base percentage. He's slugging out of his mind. He's hitting bombs all over the yard. This is a guy that needs to be in the show. I mean, in spring training, he's hitting bombs, and veteran catchers, I forget who it was, but veterans are saying how explosive this guy is with his hands at the plate, how exciting he is to watch. And we don't have him in the show yet, and the Rays could really benefit from him being in the bigs right now, especially in a stacked American League East division. So he is with the Durham Bulls. He is currently in AAA. We will see him before the end of the year. We'll probably see him within the next month or so. Eric, tell me a little more about baseball's number one prospect.
Oh, man. What more is there to say? Just like you said, there's nothing more to say. There's nothing more to see. Let's get this guy in the show. I want to see him start wreck some major league pitching. It's going to be fun to watch. I think of everybody we're talking about here, there is a 0% chance that Wander fails at this level. I believe 100% that he's going to translate into MLB pretty much instantly. Not only can this guy hit for power, but he sprays the ball all over the field. Another switch hitter, tons of switch hitters, not only today that we're talking about, but tons of switch hitting prospects coming up. He doesn't profile great at short. However, he can play anywhere else in the infield, basically. I think he profiles better at second base. That's a personal opinion. But regardless, whether they're going to trot him out there at short, second, third, they're likely going to play him all over the field. And you've also got the DH spot in the American League. Let's get him up. It is likely service time manipulation, as I'm just seeing in the comments. It's definitely the culprit here. Something I'm not a huge fan of is service time manipulation. I think the next CBA, that is something that should be dealt with. I don't know how to better go about this thing, but this can't be it. Basically owning a young man's life for 6 years, that ain't it. And I never have really understood our arbitration system and the 6-year deal and being able to hold guys until mid-May or early June to manipulate their service time. It's a mess. It's a mess for the minor leaguers, and it's kind of sad to see for our youngsters. But I do believe we see Wonder in the next month. It's going to be fantastic. His hit tool grades 80 of 80. That is how certain scouts are, that this guy is going to hit the ball at the major league level. So it's really not going to matter what he does on the infield. Defense is overrated. Kind of overrated. It's overrated. Defense is more overrated in the American League game, I think. But
there's traditionalists out there that are ready to strangle you right now, saying pitching and defense are the two things that matters most in baseball. They're major league players. They're not going to miss like routine fly balls and ground outs. I don't care what his range is. I just want to see him hit balls all over the yard, and he's going to be worth more to a team doing that. And like I said, even if they start throwing him in at DH this season, they're going to scatter him all over the infield. I'm sure his first season here, try to get him as many at bats as they can for the remainder of the season, or at least that's what we hope they do. I would hate to see him have to sit another year in AAA. The guy's 915 lifetime OPS in minor league baseball, and 7 for 26 on the season so far this year, already with a couple of bombs. So 950 is where he's sitting at OPS wise this year. He's slugging over 600. So I'm ready to see him. I'm ready for the Rays to bring him up. Another organization that's got a lot of nice young talent that should be fun to watch play together. Wander, you got Randy, you've got McKay, you've got Lowe. There's a lot of good young ones. Austin Meadows. The Rays should be, it seems like they may turn into the next generation Giants, kind of the total team, but with a little bit of a younger roster, and can possibly do it for a few more years than the Giants can currently. Yeah, the Rays need a star player because
they do.
You look at Evan Longoria out in San Francisco. That's like the best player ever to play for Tampa Bay, and Evan Longoria, a very talented player, no doubt about it, but just a guy that probably shouldn't be your best player ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Loved Longo, especially in his heyday. The guy could rake. But yeah, they really do need that star player. It seems like every time we feel like they're on the cusp of having one, they trade him away. But then also, once they trade him away, nothing happens. So they're not wrong. From the top down, that organization's actually been run very well, I think, the last couple of years with the trades they made, the moves they've made. They brought in a lot of talent. They brought in a lot of young guys. So be on the lookout for the Rays in the next couple of years. And more importantly, the 20-year-old Wander Franco, hopefully in the next month or so.
Yep. So let's watch a clip of Franco going yard here. Now, I just want to talk about service time manipulation while we are watching Franco hammer a hanging curveball to left field here. I want to give a shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays, because that is one team that did not mess around with service time manipulation with Vladdy Guerrero Jr. When they thought he was ready for the show, they brought him up. So I just want to give a shout out to them. But this is definitely a case of service time manipulation, why Franco is not in the show. You look at him in spring training, batting off big league pitchers. We're talking about him starting spring training games, going against aces, and still delivering. So it's a shame that we haven't seen him yet. But hey, what are you going to do? Hopefully in the CBA we get it fixed.
I agree. And yeah, shout out to the Blue Jays, because had they manipulated service time, think about how less fun that team would be right now. The legacies they have, the young guys, Teoscar. There's so many guys that they could have held down and didn't. And yeah, I like that. I like that. Props to the Blue Jays, because you really don't see that much. You basically see guys come up. That's it for. Teams basically try to get as many years as control as they can out of a player before they want to extend him a big contract, or any kind of contract for that matter. So I'm glad to see him doing that. And the Blue Jays are about to dole out a ton of money for those guys that they didn't manipulate, and they don't seem to care. So go Blue Jays.
Go Blue Jays. future American League East champs right there. Now we're going to talk about a guy named Jarred Kelenic. If you don't know Jarred Kelenic's name, you will after tonight. Now MLB has been tweeting everything about this guy all day long. He's making his debut tonight. He is not going to be a prospect much longer. He plays for the Seattle Mariners. He is debuting against the Cleveland Indians at home, I believe. And the thing about Kelenic, you guys should be excited to watch him. He's played 6 games this year in AAA. He's batting .370, on base of .414. This is one of the next great outfielders, and that whole outfield in Seattle is going to be stacked in another probably couple months, I'd say. But right now, Kelenic is the guy. He's making his debut tonight. Just a fantastic prospect, and I can't wait to see him debut. So go over, get the MLB.TV app if you are out of regional access there. Watch this game tonight because it's going to be special. So, Eric, what's your thoughts on Kelenic?
First off, shout out to Logan Gilbert, whose MLB debut is going to be so overshadowed because the Mariners called him up the same day they called Kelenic.
There was an article. There was an article that mentioned his name, I think, in like the second to last paragraph after it talked about Kelenic the whole time.
Yeah, shout out to Gilbert because that's two top 5 prospects we get to see debut. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want to tune into the Mariners for the next very long time because they have Kyle Lewis out there. They've got Kelenic. They've got Gilbert coming up. Gilbert's not even their top pitching prospect. Emerson Hancock, this young man, look out for Emerson Hancock. He's coming. And, of course, Julio Rodriguez, I mean, he was the last guy I mentioned there. It's crazy. Him and Kelenic were neck and neck for the 1 and 2 prospects there for the last, year or so. So I'm glad to see Kelenic come up. Absolutely raking this year. 5-tool player, guys. This is a 5-tool player. This is a guy, he draws the comparisons to the Mike Trouts, to the Mickey Mantles, to the Ronald Acuñas. This guy could be a 30 and 30 guy. He's already got a couple of stolen bags on the season. He's already scored 6 runs this year, slashing .370, .414, .630 in this very young season. 10 for 27. Starts the season 10 for 27. I mean, I'm envious. I'm envious of them having such great prospects in that Seattle organization. But this guy's going to be a lot of fun. This is another guy that I do not feel like is going to take any time. He's going to come up and he's going to be major league ready. He's ready to go right now. He's 21 years old as of today. He can play anywhere in the outfield, big lefty. I believe that once he comes up, now that he's up, he sticks because I don't think he's going to give Seattle the chance to send him back down. He's going to hit. So look out for that outfield in Seattle for the next couple of years. They are going to be very, very good. I'm a big believer in Kyle Lewis, J-Rod coming up soon. That's going to be a great team in Seattle for many years to come. And as you said, everybody, the tweets and the Facebook and the IGs have been blowing up today because this guy's going to make his debut tonight. And poor Logan Gilbert just sitting there in the corner like, man, I got called up. I'm going to the show, but it's going to be a lot of fun in Seattle. So a friend of mine on Discord actually reached out. I'm fairly certain I don't know if he's going to the game tonight or he's just sitting around in his Logan Gilbert and Jarred Kelenic gear at his house. But either way, he's geared up. He's ready. He's ready for the M's game tonight, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I think a lot of M's fan, pretty much every M's fan is ready for this game tonight. Here's a clip of Jarred Kelenic going yard. This is back in spring training. Again, we don't have much clips from him in AAA because, first of all, minor league stadiums do not really broadcast games that well if you have the minor league TV app. And also, he has only played 6 games. He's making his debut tonight after 6 games this season in the minors. So I'm very excited to watch Kelenic. Like you said, 5-tool player. You said it exactly right. And we're going to talk about another potentially a 5-tool player. Now, I want to warn you guys before we talk about this next prospect. His name is Jasson Dominguez. I'm going to show his video right away because I want to warn everyone that you might be alarmed. This guy could probably crush you with his pinkies. So be aware. He's not even playing any games right now. He's just at the alternate site mashing baseballs. But this is a clip, I believe, from a year ago. Now, he is only 18 years old, so this was probably taken when he was 17 or 16. Look at that swing. Are you kidding me? Look at that swing. And now we're flipping tires. I mean, 5'10", 190 pounds. Just an absolute machine of a human being. Look at that. Looks like that looks like some swings that players are taking as hard as they possibly can. That's like his warm up. Boom! Look at that extension. It's scary. It's scary to watch. This guy is going to be one amazing prospect. He is the first-ranked prospect in the New York Yankees organization. I've not seen what he is ranked in the overall MLB again because he's only 18 years old. But Eric, what's your thoughts on Jasson Dominguez, man?
Yet another switch hitter who does not lack power from either side. This guy's going to hit bombs from both sides of the plate. It's kind of insane that he's only 18 years old. I mean, you saw how he's built. This guy he's a grown ass man. I mean, he's not messing around out there. So very imposing, very scary guy. I've been chasing his first Bowman cards for nearly a year now. Love this guy. Can't wait to see him play some minor league ball. Yesterday, I saw an extended spring training. He started the day 2 for 2 yesterday, and had a few RBIs, I believe. I'm ready to see them. I know they're going to start this guy at low A. Last year, coming out of the international prospect pool, 17 years old, they were going to start this guy at low A. Had we followed through with an actual major league season, no extended spring and no camps, no alternate sites, they were sending this guy to low A ball at 17 years old. That's something serious. And as you can see, I mean, with a guy built like that, you're not going to send him to play with a bunch of kids. They'll scare him away. I mean, sheesh. It seems like the Yankees every couple of years end up with a guy like this in their prospect system. Even when their system is suffering, it seems like every couple of years they come up with a guy like this. But another 5-tool player, another guy that's going to draw the comparisons to the Mike Trouts, the Ronald Acuñas. This guy can do it all. Plays the outfield, but has the ability to play pretty much the outfield, corner, infield. Shortstop, second base. Oh, and some teams tried him out as catcher. Is that all? He plays all the positions. I don't know why anyone would put him at catcher when you can hit like that. I would prefer them not put him in catcher's gear and squatting on his knees every day. But this guy can even catch. He's that good. He's just naturally good. It wouldn't surprise me if in the next year you see him in the position that Wander Franco's in, and he's the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. He definitely has the potential to do so. To me, he's built like Juan Soto, but he runs like someone not that size. I don't know.
Brian Hayes, yeah, like a Brian Hayes or something.
I mean,
yeah. There we go.
He for a big guy, this guy can move. He's got speed. He has a good arm, and of course the power it's going to be there. This is another guy that projects to be a possible 25, 30 guy. So this is a guy you're going to want to watch over the next couple of years. I know Yankees fans are completely pumped about him. Card collectors like myself have been pumped about him for a while. We've been chasing those first Bowmans. Right now, we're all counting our Kelenic rookie cards or our Kelenic first Bowmans and prospect autographs tonight. And we, as all card collectors do, we set them all out in front of us and watch the game and hopefully just watch little stacks of money appear on top of all those cards as he hits each bomb. But Dominguez is one of those guys who you don't even have to wait for that. His cards are already selling for a ridiculously high amount because he's so damn good at the game. So look at that guy, man.
Look at that guy. I want to watch this swing one more time. Boom, laser show in New York, in the Bronx for a long, long time. And the good thing about them, they have the money to keep him there no matter how he performs. Now, with Dominguez, I was reading a report on him to prepare for this today, and I forget what website it was, but it was said under position. It said all. Because he can do it all. It just said all. That's it.
Whenever I first started seeing his cards floating around, I basically did the same thing and kind of looked. I'm like, oh, where's this guy play? Oh, he's an outfielder. And yeah, I saw something that said all. So then I was like, okay, let me dig in a little here. Like, what do you mean? Like he can catch? And yeah, apparently some teams actually, I don't know if they actually tried him as a catcher, but he can catch. I don't know. The guy can play everywhere, man. He's like Tommy Edman with power. I love it. I love seeing the ultimate utility guy who just has that much power, that much ability, can steal bases. Somebody who the Yankees someday are going to have to work into their lineup on a daily basis, apparently all over the field. It'll be great. The Yankees are good at doing cool new things like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this guy. I'm excited about all these guys, especially excited about Kelenic right now just because we're so close to getting to see that guy play. But Dominguez is a guy to look for. Another very young, two more very young guys I'll throw out there to look for in the next, I would say, one season, because now that they're going to be playing major league ball or minor league ball, you'll get to actually see them. And that is Heston Kjerstad with the Orioles. Keep your eye on that kid. He's going to be a stud, 100%. Another no-doubter like the Adleys and the Wonders of the world. And then also Detroit Tigers, Spencer Torkelson. Spencer Torkelson, I believe he's already the number 2 prospect in baseball. And he was, just like I'm actually not sure if he's even played minor league ball yet with COVID happening and then the draft. And I've got basically COVID has me confused on the last 2 draft classes. I keep getting them mixed up because I've never seen 2 draft classes ago play either. So I just basically 2019 and 2020, man, it's all one draft class to me. But regardless, keep your eye on those 2 and Dominguez over the next year. They are going to soar up everyone's prospect rankings and hopefully be great for the game of baseball.
Yeah, 100%. Now, with COVID has thrown so many things off with the players and stuff.
Timeline all confused.
But I think we're going to see so many stars emerge because of COVID. Like you said, 2 draft classes sandwiched together. We don't know a lot about these guys, so it's going to be really exciting in the coming years as they get to more time in the minor leagues.
I agree, and I think all at once, here in like 2 or 3 years, all at once, there's going to be this huge, wow, the league just got 3 or 4 years younger average age, because we're going to get so many coming up near the same time. A ton of great 18-year-olds right now. So many good 18 and 19-year-old players right now. So there's my cat. Thank you, Oreo, we needed your appearance. I appreciate that. Once these young guys, once they come up 22, 23 years old, they're going to start tearing up the league the way we're seeing right now with the crop we have now with the Tatises and the Bichettes and the Acuñas and all these guys. So I'm excited for baseball for the next decade. I think it's in great hands with the last few rookie classes we've had, and I think it's in possibly even better hands with the upcoming prospect classes.
Yeah, for sure. Now, this was a blast today, Eric. Now, if you guys want to listen to me and Eric on the regular show, it's on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Between the Lines. Make sure you join us there. We talk about everything to do with baseball, not just prospects. So that's a blast. But I want to finish with one thing. Now, Jarred Kelenic is making his debut tonight. He is facing Zach Plesac, or Plesac, however you say it, whatever way you want to say it in Major League Baseball. But it's going to be a great matchup. He's got a tough pitcher to face in his first outing tonight. I want to ask you first, Eric, and then I want to ask the listeners. Tweet your answers at Sports20 Network on Twitter. It's 20 because Twitter doesn't let you put periods in the handles. Get it together, Twitter.
Get it together.
Get it together, Twitter. Sports 2.0 Network. We want periods in those handles, and then or at Tanner Curran _ tweet them both. What does Plesac do to Kelenic tonight? Gets 4 at bats. What's he going?
If he's coming up 4 times tonight, and I'm a huge Zach Plesac. I'm like you. I don't know either, which is sad because Dan has been around the game for 1,000 years, and we don't know how to say his last name. So anyway, I think if he gets 4 at bats, adrenaline's going. First time he's coming up to the plate. I'm going to give him a 2 for 4 tonight. You know what? I'm going to give him a 2 for 3 because this guy can also take some walks. 4 at bats, he goes 2 for 3 with a walk. I'd love to see an extra base hit, but I won't push it that far. We'll just say 2 for 3 with a walk.
I'm going to go 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout.
I like
one
it.
For 1 for 3 with a double. I think that's safe. I think he does get that double off the wall. You can spray it on the park.
I
Definitely
think the
strikeout's
pretty safe. That first or second at bat, the nerves are going to be going. He's going to be seeing stuff that, he's seen before at the minor league level, but not like this, not in the show. It's not the same. So I would agree. I think one of these at bats is going to equal at least 1K tonight, but would love to see him get on base a couple of times and do some damage.
Yes, sir. So tweet your answers at Sports 2.0 Network on Twitter, at TannerKern_ on Twitter, guys. And make sure you smash that subscribe button on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube right now, after this ends, go over to YouTube, smash that subscribe button. We're putting up a ton of great sports content on there, including a live daily show with Ryan Newpel, USA Wager, talking about betting news in the nation. And also I do my daily picks on there in the morning. About 40-something games over 500 today. Not treating me too well, but we are rolling. We're making money on there. So make sure you check that out. Eric, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on. As we say every time, man, I'll sit here and ramble on about baseball as these folks listen anytime you'd like me to, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining me.
Was that a Pinocchio?
1-1, Sky to right.